Are you afraid of failure?
I am not,
You're
but
not.
I have been failing myself.
You have what?
I have been failing myself and in the things that I feel important to myself a lot because I think too much and then I sometimes don't have enough faith and trust to myself and then that caused me to overthink and then I succumb to the evil side of me.
And why do you do that?
Because sometimes I think too much and
Why do you
then I
think so
have
much?
fear about the things that I don't want to be as an outcome.
And so why do you do so much thinking?
Because sometimes I cannot stop myself from thinking. And when I start to think, usually I'll start to think the wrong thoughts because thoughts are evil.
Right. And so sometimes you think evil thoughts?
Yes,
Can you give me an example?
yes. So I really love him. I really do. And we have some conversations about my past that we have misunderstood about. So I think to myself that I don't want him to read the message that I had with another guy in the past because I don't want him to misunderstood me. So I called my sister and then I say, hey, I'm really worried about if he read the message that he will misunderstood. And then so I have my sister to delete the message. And that just create an even more huge gap of trust between me and him. And then I feel very stupid about myself. I have been feeling on this side of me in terms of the trust in the relationship that we have. I have been feeling for 6 months, and then that is a battle that will kick into me when it comes to the trust that we have with each other about my past. And then I'm realizing that I'm constantly in failure when it comes to this situation, and then that caused me to have wrongful thoughts.
Do you think he love you? Does he love you?
He does.
And does he bring up your past?
He cares about me, that's why he asks.
Okay. But he doesn't bring it up all the time, right?
No.
And he hasn't said he's going to leave, right?
Huh?
Did he say he's going to break up with you?
No, when I assess myself and when I think about him and when I think about the woman that I want him to be with, and I think about the package that I have up until this point as a human being, I sometimes really think to myself that I'm not the best option for him. So when he bring up the things that I know that I doesn't match his mark, I will tell him that I think that he should find the person that he really feels that way with.
Really? And is this your first time here?
Yes.
Do you have anger?
I used to have anger, and then I tried to solve that with myself. But in this situation, that I have been really mad about him for many times, and then I'm not mad anymore.
Oh, good.
I want him to have the best thing that he can experience this time here on the planet. And then I keep doing the wrong thing.
No, she'll be all right, man. Hey, she'll be fine. Let her get it out. Don't stop her from getting it out.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
I feel very stupid. And I don't know what to do.
She'll be fine.
I apologize. We actually had a discussion like right before this.
Yeah,
and
don't
so,
bother. But let her get
yeah.
it out. Don't be a mama to her. She'll be fine. She's just crying. It's not blood. So she'll be fine.
Jesse, sorry.
No problem.
He's a big fan of yours, and then I started to hear about what you talked about because of him.
Nice.
And I really agree with you, and the things that you say. And then everything from you and from him make me think a lot about myself. And then I really appreciate the chance to come here and see you and be with everybody. I feel very weak as a woman and as a human being because I don't like to be attacked by demons. I don't like to be manipulated by those thoughts. But sometimes those thoughts comes to me, and then it makes me think those thoughts.
Yeah.
And then I start to overthink, and then when I start to think too much, I usually, 99% of the time, do the wrong thing. I betrayed my heart. I betrayed what I know is the right thing to do when there are too much thoughts on my head. And then more and more it cascades down. And then I have been in a role of doing the wrong thing. And then got to the point where I don't know how to honor him anymore. And I feel very bad and very stupid because I really love him and he's the person that I want to be with for the rest of my life, and I don't know what to do anymore.
So have you gone and forgiven your mother?
Huh?
Did you forgive your mother?
Yeah.
You went to her?
Huh?
You went to your mother and forgave her?
Yeah, I talked with my mom and my dad on the phone, and then I also went back to visit them last summer.
Oh, okay. Are you doing the silent prayer?
Huh?
Are you doing the silent prayer? Did he show her the prayer?
Yeah, it's like so we do like a kind of like a meditation type of thing.
Oh, okay.
So much similar
Yeah.
to that.
The battle you're having with thoughts, every human being has that. Not
That's
one.
so hard. And then I feel very weak because when I can have clear thoughts, I can differentiate very clear. These are the bad thoughts, and I'm going to think this way. But sometimes when I fall short, and then when I become weak, these thoughts will just find a chance to come into my head.
Right.
And then I think so much, and then I've been doing all the wrong decisions, and then he has been experiencing all the outcome of the wrong decisions with me.
Right.
And then I feel very bad. I don't know.
Do you want to end that? You want to stop? You want a better life? You want a good life?
I want to stop myself from overthinking and
Yeah.
doing the wrong thing. And then
I want to tell you that all thoughts are all lies all the time. The ones that when you think you're feeling good, that's a setup. Because no such thing as feeling good in thoughts. But when you think you're feeling good, you kind of relax and you're not paying attention. And then the devil will give you a negative thought. Now you're feeling bad. So you're up and down because you believe in thoughts. But if you just know that all thoughts are all lies all the time, and that you are not thoughts, you'll be fine. You are not the thought. You're not creating the thoughts. They're not from God, and they're not you. They're not from you. When you get into thoughts like that, you're worshiping the devil. You're fellowshipping with the devil, and that's what he wants you to do, the devil, right?
I know.
So all thoughts are all lies all the time. You just got to know that, stop identifying with them, because that's a spirit inside of you. It's not you. And just know that you'll be fine. But you think it's you, and it's not. And don't do it to try to please him. You do it because you want to come out of the hell that you're in. You want to do it because you don't like living this hell. You don't need, you should have a person, place, or thing that makes you want to do it. You do it because you want to come out of the hell, and you'll be fine with him. He'll be fine. But all of your thoughts are lies. They're not you. And they're telling you, oh, I want to be perfect for him. I want to be, that's dumb. Because if you got up every morning and walked on water, or go to work on a cloud, you still can't satisfy him. It has to be because you want to be right. And stop feeling sorry for yourself. That's all ego. All the crying and stuff you're doing now, it's just about ego.
Yeah.
You feel good about crying. You feel good about being miserable. That's just the ego. That's not you. You feel good about wanting to please this man. You feel this, but it's all fake. It's all evil. So cut it out. Just grow up.
Okay.
Stop acting that way. You want to do it because you want to be free, as he is free. And then you guys will get along perfectly. You disagree, you agree, and it won't be an argument like that. It'll just be a disagreement. He's trying to help you. He's not going anywhere. But you don't do it for him. Do it for you. That make sense?
Yes.
And cut out the crying.
I
What
know.
the-
I'm
That's just
sorry, I
ego.
wasn't going to cry, but
No, that's fine. I'm glad you did, because I want you to see people who cry, people who worry, people who get mad, people who get glad. It's just an ego trip. It has no meaning. It's just worshiping the devil. And they want you to feel sorry and be happy with them or be sad with them and all that. Because like when you were crying right now and he was rubbing your back, that felt good, right? Makes you want to cry longer.
no.
Then like somebody, you be about to cry and you want to hold it. No. And then somebody rubs your back. Mama started rubbing your back. Now you want to cry. It's all ego. It's not you. That's what I want you to know. It's not you. All that stuff you just said is not you at all. About the past, that doesn't exist anymore. You can't make up for something that doesn't exist. You apologize and be done with it. God forgive you. You're doing fine. All thoughts are all lies all the time. No such thing as a true thought. And stop identifying. When they come like that, just know that that's the devil. That's a spirit. Don't call it you. Because when you call it you, you identify with the devil. I feel this and I feel that. That's the devil. That's not you. You're none of those things. And never has been. The real you has never been afraid. The real you has never been a failure or a success. The real you has been none of those things. But you identify with the devil thinking that is you. It's not you at all. That makes sense?
Yes.
So cut it out.
Okay.
Don't let the devil make you cry about nothing. It's not God making you cry. And stop glorifying in what has happened. All you have is right now. There is no yesterday. There is no tomorrow. What do you think about that?
I agree with you.
Speaking to the mic. You
I
think you agree with it?
yeah.
Yeah. It's not true. So when those thoughts come, just relax and look at them. Do nothing else. And looking at them is what makes you free. If you can see the thoughts by looking at them and not reacting, you're free.
Okay.
You're not in them if you can see them. You're only in one with them if you can't see them. You're doing just fine. It's not you at all. And he can't make you do that. You got to want, you got to practice and just be aware of the thoughts. All thoughts are from the devil. There are practical thoughts that's not from the devil. You got to go to work, you got to go to the grocery store, put gas in practical thoughts, but you don't live by those thoughts. The devil got you suffering unnecessarily. You're free. When Christ came, he freed us up. And the devil has no power at all, none. He's been defeated. But if he can tempt you to believe a lie, then he got you. Because you'll carry it out yourself, thinking that is you. So you're doing fine.
What should I do about the actions that I've taken in the past and then I couldn't erase them?
Nothing. It's done. You said, what should you do about the past thing, you say?
Yeah.
Nothing. They don't exist. The devil reminds you of it as though it does exist. But in reality, it doesn't exist. Whatever happened then, happened then. It doesn't exist anymore. Period.
What should I do so that I can let him know about me?
Nothing. Don't try to prove anything to anyone. Either he'll see it or he won't. He doesn't need you to try to prove it. You just need to live. Just live. You can't prove anything to anyone.
Yeah.
The more you try to prove it, the more control they'll try to get over you. They will never say, oh, okay, you're free. I had enough. You don't need to prove it anymore. They'll drive you in the ground. Don't do anything. It's over. The past is over. All you have is right now. So stop trying to make up for a past. You can't ever make up for a past. Either he forgives you or he doesn't. And if he remembers, it's just the devil is making him remember it too. But and when you remember it, you act out. But it's not real. Stop being a beta.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yes.
It's not, really, it's all an illusion. When he see that you're free, you don't have hatred in your heart, when you can constantly overcome, he'll be fine with that. And if he doesn't forgive him, he can't help it. He literally, if he bring up your past and all that, so-called past, he just can't see what he's doing. Don't resent him for it. He just don't see, because if he could see, he wouldn't do it. Because he would see that there is no past, no future. Only thing we have is right now. So forgive him if he bring up the past.
So sometimes when I have those thoughts, should I communicate with him?
No.
Should I let him know?
Nope, just watch him. There's nothing he can do about it. Now, if you want to sometimes talk about how crazy thoughts are, but not as an identity, you'll be fine. Like, oh, I had this crazy thought about cooking cornbread. And I don't like cornbread. And I know that thought wasn't for me, because I don't like cornbread, I like rice. You know what I mean? Don't take it as an identity. So if you do talk to him about it, don't make it a big deal. Just notice how because the devil, he give us all kind of crazy thoughts, all kind. And if you don't know it's not you, you'll think that they're you. So you can have that kind of talk, but not when you're all crying and looking for sympathy and all that. Don't do it with that motivation. Because no
I
human
know.
being can save you from that.
I know. Thank you so much.
That makes sense?
Yes. I have one more question.
Yes.
If there's anything if there's something that from my past that maybe that we are not agree about, that is the fact, should we seek mutual agreement so that our relationship is real and right and strong?
Should you do what now?
Should we seek for mutual agreement? Should we be on the same page for what actually happened in my past so that
No.
he can trust me?
You shouldn't bring up your past at all, because it doesn't exist. And if he brings it up, tell him not to and forgive him. I don't care. There's nothing in your life that you've ever done, no matter what, that you need to think about. God is not holding it against you. You should not hold it against yourself, and he should not hold it against you. Either he be with you now as you are or don't. Either he forgive you or he doesn't. And if he doesn't forgive you, give him the finger and go live your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't prove anything to them. People will try to destroy you if you try to prove something to them. People are evil. So forget about the past. God is not remembering it. He doesn't remember it. He's not holding it against you. He understands that you're in a fallen state, you're overcoming, and everything you did in the past was because you were turned away from the Father. You were in a fallen state. You were in the wilderness and you didn't see what you were doing. You couldn't see at the time. So he's not holding it against you. And I don't know if he's bringing it up or not, but if he's bringing up your past, you don't want to be with a person like that anyway, because you can't live up to that. That's not love. Love is to forgive and forget. Love doesn't remember anything. It doesn't hold on to anything. It forgets. That makes sense?
Is it cool if I say something?
Yeah.
So to talk about failure and everything, that it seems like that's what you guys were talking about before we came in. And I guess to speak for myself and maybe for some of the people that I guess feel like they have a responsibility for, well, first and foremost, I feel like most people want to connect back to the Father. We could use the word the
All
Father or
people do.
love. Yeah, and so we have a responsibility to that first, and then
Yeah.
after that, we have a responsibility to I guess showcase that to the rest of the world. And so first and foremost, we need to have strong families, and that strong families come from the man and then the woman. The woman leads the man, and then that's how the family is strong. And so for the most part, I think, like for myself, and I feel like most people that are in this war, I think a lot of people might be afraid to, I guess, it's just in every corner, on every street, everywhere, it seems like families being attacked, strong
Yeah.
relationships are being attacked, and there's so much incentive to do the other, to go against that. And I think for myself, like, I'm not afraid that I will fail, but I would say that, again, like, the reason why she talked about what she talked about is, like, the reason why this is
Are
so
you a
important.
boyfriend or husband?
Yeah.
Okay.
Boyfriend, not husband.
Okay.
And so that's the reason why it's so important, and that's the reason why these questions exist. And it's because we want to make sure that we're doing the right thing so that we could be examples, stewards of strong families, But I guess to go back to, like,
If I were
failure
you, I wouldn't
circle
think
it.
about any of those things.
Yeah, certainly.
I wouldn't think about, I want to be strong, I want to have a strong family, I want this and that, because you don't know what you want. And if you just grow in the light, whatever's in store for you will happen naturally. Don't have an outer reason to want to be anything. You just want to overcome the darkness. Have no plans, no ideas, or anything, because all plans and all ideas are from the devil. And so if you think you know God, that's from the devil.
Yeah.
If you think you want this, that's from the devil. All plans and all ideas, you have to share them. You have to disappear. They have to go. And you just live in the present and let the light guide you, and you will have an amazing life.
Yeah.
But all your ideas are from the devil, so let all that stuff go too. All
guess
that stuff is ego, because you don't want, even when you wake up, you're not waking up to try to prove to anyone anything.
Yeah.
You're just a free person, and those seekers, those who are seeking, will see that. And hey, how did you become free? I forgave. I turned back to the Father.
Yeah.
That's all you need. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So just do it because you want to come out of your own hell.
Yeah, and I think that's the only reason. It's not about even having an amazing life,
Right. That's right. It's not have no plan.
Yeah.
It's just that you're going to come out of the hell. All the conflict and the fear and the worry and stuff you have will disappear.
Yeah. Cool.
Are you doing the silent prayer
Yeah.
every day and every night?
I don't do it every night. So we've been moving, actually. So we just moved down here. But the thing is that I think I started the silent prayer, well, my own version of the silent prayer back in, like, 2013. I started when I was, like, 19.
Oh, okay.
And it's because I grew up in a single-parent household. You had a single mother and everything.
Do you bring up her
So-
past?
Huh?
Do you bring up her past?
Yeah, I did. I
What?
did initially.
You still do it?
So, kind of. I
still
think
do it?
the point of bringing up the past is not the past itself, because again, that is the past, and so that's not now. But the
why
point
do you
is,
bring it up?
because the point is to well, so this was actually in the beginning of, like, when we first met each other and everything, and it was more so about the idea of being able to live in truth. So if a question can be asked, something that's sensitive, something that somebody may want to be deceptive about, it's like that. It's more of like a test. It's like there's these things that we as human beings want to cover up. We want to hide.
But
And the thing is,
listen, don't ever bring up her past.
certainly,
It does no good.
yeah,
All you're doing is allowing the devil into your relationship. Whatever her past was, that was then, and it's none of your business.
yeah,
And she want to be able to trust you and know that you trust her. And if you are going to be the head, then you got to act like the head. And the head doesn't bring up the past.
yeah,
You just show her how to forgive. And you see she's trying so hard to please you because you bring up the past. And you love that. That's why you bring up the past. Don't bring it up. That's not love.
yeah,
Cut that out, man. What the?
definitely, yeah.
Don't ever bring up her past. It doesn't exist anymore.
So let me ask you a question.
And now she's trying to please you.
Yeah,
And you like that.
I suppose. I mean,
And-
hold on, my man. So there's layers to this thing. There's layers to our beings.
Yeah.
And so you're talking about a specific layer. There is a layer that exists where I do like it, in the sense that, but as far as like,
But that's evil, though, to bring
Certainly,
up her past
cer-
to hurt her like that.
yeah, yes, definitely. I
You're
completely
trying
agree.
to get control over her. Apologize. You don't have to do it now, but
Yeah.
apologize for that man and cut it out.
Yeah.
That's all hell. That's the devil.
Yeah. See, the thing is that maybe not all people can see the things inside of them that connect them to
it's
the
not
devil.
your job to make them see it.
No, yeah,
It's
no,
the
that's what I'm
light
saying.
of God
yeah.
that would cause them to see it. You can't make them see it.
Yeah.
Because if you make them see it, then they don't really see it. and
But
they're
as far
not
as that
free.
little thing that makes me like it, that is the connection with the devil. And
Yeah.
the fact that I can see that, I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I can see that because I don't let that lead me. But I can see that.
But if you saw it, you wouldn't bring up the past.
Yes, I suppose.
You wouldn't. If you saw it, because seeing it is love.
Yeah.
God is love. The light is love. And if you can see, you're not going to try to hurt another person.
Yeah.
Just for your little ego's sake.
Yeah.
So you're not seeing it, really seeing it. You're seeing it intellectually, maybe.
Possibly.
And then you're doing it to make yourself feel better, have control. That's not love. That's
Yeah.
not seeing it. In seeing, there's nothing but love. There's no desire to control. There's no nothing.
Would you say-
you have compassion, and the right kind of compassion, because you see that this person can't see,
Yeah.
and so but you don't judge them because they can't see.
So would you say that when you're like in the modern dating scene, when you're trying to get to know somebody and you're looking for a mother for your children, and let's say you have these series of questions and these series of things that help you determine where this person is at with respect to whether or not they could be a good mother and all that other stuff. So that's kind of how it came out. It didn't come out it didn't come out.
But you shouldn't have been doing that either.
You don't think
You
I should have been doing
date
that?
so you can get to know each other.
Mhm.
You don't date to find out other people's past, because once you get it, now you got it in your mind, and it's at any time it's convenient for you, you're going to use it against them.
I see.
You're going to see this person who they are now, not where they come from.
Yeah.
'Cause everybody got a past. All sin.
And how do you
There's
get away
not
from
one.
that past?
By overcoming it yourself, staying out of your imagination, and don't get into somebody else's past.
Would you say that the same scenarios that happened in the past could come in the present, just in different forms, and so the underlying
Not if you live in the
behavior-
light.
Yeah, so not exactly. So then, let's say that the only way to get out of that is to live in the light, and so
The only way to get out of it is to be born of the Father.
yeah, and so you have
And
to
when
face.
you're born of the Father, you wake up, and there is no past.
Yeah, but you do have to contend with those things and understand that those things happen.
You don't have to contend with them because they're over. It's an illusion. It doesn't
So you
exist.
just completely forget. So when
Yes.
you're born again of the Father, you just completely. I see.
Absolutely.
Okay. That makes
Because-
sense. Okay.
And if you're living that way within yourself, you're going to treat others the same way.
Yeah.
Because you guided by the Father. You guided by the light, and you know that all are in a fallen state, and they couldn't help themselves.
Yeah.
God is not bringing up her past. He's married to her too. He's not bringing up her past.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? I don't want her to be my wife because
Yeah.
you did this.
That
Don't
makes
bring
sense.
up her past, man. What the?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I hear you.
Just leave that alone and just take her for now. Date with her, get to know her. You be a good example. You be of love, and point the right way. She should do the silent prayer, overcome the anger. You just be the example that you hope that she would come into the kingdom.
Yeah.
But you don't need to know anything about her past to do that.
Yeah.
And if she want to tell you about her past, you share it with you at the right time, because she'll see that you won't use it against her.
Yeah.
That make sense?
It does.
So cut it out, man. No wonder
Definitely.
she's crazy.
Huh?
No wonder she's suffering so much.
Yeah.
You got her trying to please you. Don't
Yeah.
try to please him.
I was trying to do the right thing.
You do the right thing by staying out of your head, letting thoughts pass, and living right and doing what's in front of you every day. Just that's the only way. That's the only thing you can do. That make sense? So cut that out. And he's not going to do it anymore. If he does, let me know. And it sounds like he mean well, but he can't see. Because if he saw, he wouldn't do that. So forgive him. Don't hold that against him. And no more discussion about the past between the two of you. Don't bring that up anymore, man.
Yeah.
And you forget about that. Don't let the devil make you think about it either. Any questions about that? Let her have the mic.
The reason why I appreciate he bring up things to me is because I really want him to know about me.
Why?
Because I really love him, and then I want these things to be, I want him to know that I want to use my whole being to honor him.
That's not love. You don't need to honor him. You honor God. He's not God. You can't please a human being.
Okay.
You want to honor God. You want no other God above you. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might, along with nobody else or nothing else. And then love your neighbor. Because if you love God, you're going to love him in the right way. It'll happen naturally. You don't have to honor nobody. Don't be honoring. What the?
Okay.
That don't even sound right. Just imagine it, how you building his ego up trying to honor him.
Mm-hmm.
That is an ego builder like nothing going on. You're not supposed to honor some human being. We love one another. We don't honor. Meaning that we don't judge one another.
Okay.
That make sense?
Yes.
So cut that out. You'll be right with him when you're right with what's right. Don't try to prove anything. Just live your life. Be aware of the thoughts. Don't fellowship with the devil.
Okay. Thank you.
And don't be talking about, as a woman, I don't want to do this. You want to be a daughter of God, not as a woman. Stop identifying with the physical. That makes sense?
Yes.
Yeah, don't be talking about as a woman. Just be you. You want to be a daughter of God. How does that sound to you?
I understand that, and I agree with you. Thank you, Jesse.
You're welcome. You feel better?
Yes.
Yeah, come out of your head.
Okay.
And stop crying. What the?
I know, it's very embarrassing, but yeah.
Crying is ego. There's never a reason to cry. Unless you're at a funeral, you may shed a tear, and that's it.
Okay.
Unless you're at that time of month. Apparently the ladies cry every month. But that makes sense?
Yes.
Does it make sense to you too? Yeah. Oh, okay. Cut out giving each other pain like that. You're working for the devil. Love one another. Don't judge one another. Yes, ma'am. Right here. She had her hand.
I just had one quick thought that maybe would help her. One, I think it's a lot of pressure to live under if you're constantly trying to honor and please, and not going back into the past is a lot of pressure for any woman or wife or girlfriend to be under. And secondly, what I did for a while that kind of helped me and my husband was to when we'd be having conversations, and maybe they were harder conversations, or I'm in my head a lot, I'm not anymore when I used to be, is I took the word I feel out of everything.
Yeah.
And he'd say to me, so is this a fact, or we wouldn't be in the conversation, I wouldn't be allowed to use the word, not allowed, but we would try and take out I feel. And then when you actually take out I feel, you actually realize that most of everything that you're saying is emotional and not what happened. And then that would
Absolutely.
change our conversations, and then that would allow me to stay out of my head. And then when you
Absolutely.
are in your head, because I struggled with that for a long time, it's just kind of seeing it outside of yourself and just letting it pass. Don't get emotional about it. Don't think about it. Don't think about the thoughts. Just recognize it's a thought and just let it go. And you'll be so much more at peace. And it's
And don't identify with it as you. It's not I. It's a it. It's the devil in you. And the light will rebuke the devil. It will destroy the ego. But you have to let that happen. And it's going to feel painful because it thinks like you and feel like it's happening to you, but it's not. It's not you. Absolutely. So stop identifying with it. And you too, man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Thank you so much for being with me. You can get involved by going to our YouTube chat line.